ready for it?
Let's talk about. How about the fact that Mercury is going to be out of retrograde on Friday? So now everybody's going to go back to normal.
I can't wait. And you know what? I knew we can start.
Mercury's not going to be in retrograde starting this Friday. So August 2nd will be the first day since July 1st that we're out of retrograde. I'm crying from Doug. I'm crying from Doug saying season 2.
Talking about the Mercury that's in fish?
No, like Mercury the planet.
Oh man.
Yeah, the Mercury and fish is like changing people.
For real. The planet.
Yeah, but now that you bring that up though, that's a good little
Yeah, they say you're not supposed to have too much fish.
Yeah.
For real?
You know
it's all about the pescatarian diet.
Huh?
The pescatarian diet?
Yeah. Where they eat
fish based.
I guess you gotta switch it up with shrimp.
Pimp C also told us if you eat too much shrimp, you'll get iodine poisoning.
Pimp C.
And Pimp C also does a lot of.
So like
Pimp
seafood.
C's dead.
I was gonna say,
I almost said something
Pimp C does a lot. Like, he's still doing
it.
I'm saying
that's why I stopped.
He did a lot. So what I'm saying is, you can't take what he said.
They say shrimp is like the roach of the sea. Yeah?
It is. It's the pig of the sea because it eats all the dirt and
the
feces
first
on
time
the
I
ground.
made shoot. Dang, look at me. Look at me.
You, man.
The first time I made shrimp, actual and I had to devein them. I didn't know all that was shit in the back.
Yeah, that's right.
Man, I was so mad.
Why you say like you was shit in the back?
What'd you think?
Bruh, I was sitting there. Because I thought when you say deveining, I didn't know that mean taking the crap out of the back of the shrimp.
You realize if every person had to kill and take care of their own animals, nobody would eat meat. Like if you actually had to go through that process, if you actually had to go out and get your food and bring it back, nobody would eat meat because nobody would.
You don't want to see that.
That takes me back overseas. It's actually pretty easy with chickens. Like I'm talking about twisting, tearing it off.
You've torn a chicken's head off?
You done took a chicken from alive to
It was running around and they said pick one. And then we grabbed it and it was weird trying to get it to come off, but it does. And then you got to dunk it in the water. No, I didn't have to actually chase it and catch it.
Bruh.
But you can defeather it and then once you defeather it and it's the meat, it's just like how it will be.
But was it anything differently mentally?
Let's raise some chicken.
I'm telling you, and it's a healthier. It's not those huge chicken legs. It's like a
that's
little
true.
leg.
When I was in Africa, the cows are like bony.
I won't eat big wings.
Like no, it's good.
I ain't gonna eat no big wings. I don't give a damn. I ain't gonna eat no big wings. Fuck that. I mean, forget that.
But hold on, from when it was alive to when you ate it, was it anything different? Like when you were sitting there eating it, like did you look at it any differently?
I didn't, but I like the process because the whole family, like when you're out there, it's kind of a day experience because it's going to take a while to get it from, to start.
And people who have to do that, they see it as a more spiritual moment from them killing
You just don't waste as much.
Oh, yeah.
You like really take advantage of every part and like you'll eat the neck and won't think anything's weird and stuff like there's somebody that's going to like every part of it.
Because you had to work.
How big is the chicken?
You ever had chicken feet?
Chickens are... I didn't eat the chicken feet, but I've had chicken feet. I just don't like it. It's a weird... It's like... I don't know. It's like bone.
Do feet usually get
that's what
Chicken feet?
Yeah.
Well, you can go to the grocery store right now.
I heard of pig feet. I ain't heard of chicken feet.
Chicken feet.
There's meat on chicken feet?
People, I think people boil it.
I thought it was claws.
It is.
Like chew on it.
It's still.
So you like chew on it.
Welcome to season 2 already.
Welcome
season 2.
Welcome to season 2, man. What y'all think about season 1, man?
Man, we made it through 36 episodes.
36 episodes. If you ain't listened to all 36, then you behind.
Yo, isn't it crazy the amount of, like, when you look back over a year, like when you look back over the things that you've done, the things that you've accomplished, and you'll sit there and you'll be like, I've been doing this for a year. Like, I thought about that after our last episode. I sat back and I said, dang, we've been doing this for a year now.
Yeah. I can't believe it went by.
That's wild.
Yeah. Especially thinking back to how this all happened. You know what I'm saying? How we just kind of popped off, didn't know each other, and we just kind of came together and started this thing. It's been crazy, but
I remember calling Mac. And it was like, yo,
we were sitting right outside. But at the same time, I know it's been times we didn't think we was gonna make it. So,
that is true. Had some sit down conversations.
We done definitely grown together and gone through some things and took some time off. It's been crazy.
So that makes me ask the question: why don't people take advantage of opportunities like they should? Because this was an opportunity, and we just really stuck with it, and it turned into something. People have opportunities every day, but why don't people really jump on them like they should?
Fear. Fear. Fear and like not wanting it. Like I'll just to this, like waking up at, everybody gets a finished product, but we're waking up at like 5. What time you wake up?
Like 5:15.
Like I wake up at 5 to be able to leave by 5:40 to get here.
I got about 3 alarm clocks.
Right, and 5 o'clock. Depending upon what time you go to bed. Like if you get in bed at 11,
that's early.
5 o'clock come quicker than me in high school. Like that shit is just like you gotta. I don't know, bro. It's a grind. It's like fear and also wanting.
That's what I was gonna say. The consistency part of it is why I think a lot of people don't take advantage of a lot of opportunities. Like they'll start, but it's so hard to follow through. The follow through is the hard. Anybody like my granddad used to tell me, anybody can buy a car, but who can pay for the car? You know what I'm saying? So that's anybody can get it. So I think that's the thing with the opportunity. Everybody gets the opportunity. Everybody can do it, but it's that consistent thing. And I know that was my thing with, I used to always try to say, and if we can just be consistent and we can just outlast, we can just keep showing up, I think something great come from it. So. That's my thing.
I think with the opportunity thing, why don't people take advantage of opportunity? I think a lot of it comes from confidence, not believing fully in yourself and doubting yourself a lot. If you don't believe fully in yourself that you can accomplish a goal, then you'll stop halfway through. It's like, it's easier to quit where I am than to take that next step. Right. Or to go that next day. So with the opportunity thing.
But what if you don't know what pieces to put the puzzle together with? So
that all comes with the journey. You're gonna pick up pieces as you go. You're not born in life with all the tools. Same thing yesterday, like
Toolbox Tuesday.
The toolbox, Toolbox Tuesday. Every day you pick up tools. Like I learned something this morning about myself. Like tomorrow I'll learn something else, and everything. You're never gonna be fully born, or nobody's ever got it all wrapped up together. Like you learn every day, and that's what life is. So if you back out, and it's like I'm gonna close the door. I'm not going outside.
Life still happening.
That sun's still gonna shine.
And you
close the curtains. Everything. It's still going on. Like
and you brought attention to something also that for so long you don't really. If you don't have a reason, and people say your why, and they can get so cliche, but if you don't have a reason to doing what you really wake up and want to do every day, then you're not gonna follow through with it.
Yeah.
And I've grown to see that really it can't be money. It can't be.
No.
It cannot be anything monetary of why you do anything, because that's gonna fizzle out.
Yeah.
And that's not gonna last long enough. So it has to be either something you truly love doing every day, or truly a goal or something that you want to do. And that took me so long to realize that.
Because you'll see the money and it's like, damn, what's next?
Money's infinite.
Like, dang, I got the money.
Yeah.
What's next? Like, that's why you see so many millionaires unhappy.
Yeah.
They didn't reach so high and climb so many mountains to get this pot of gold.
I want to get the opportunity.
Let me see what it's like.
If I can get to that mountain first.
Y'all know what I'm saying.
They say more money, more problems, but I'm trying to get the money first.
Facts. I want the bag too, but when I get the bag, I still want to walk with it.
Yeah. Ooh.
So that really makes me think of just like 2 or 3 days ago. I was at this new restaurant, Wing Me. Support black businesses. Shout out to Wing Me. Delicious.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I was in there.
My phone worked. Might not get it now.
No, I got you. Lunch special. But so I was there, and a woman that I haven't seen since high school, she came in. We went to high school together, and she knows that we do mentoring and we help the youth, etc. And she said, could you please talk to my kid? Could you please mentor my kid? Because he's already going in the wrong direction. And I was like, what do you mean? Right. She said, all he cares about is money and cars. And I was like, that's not bad. He's young. And she said, no, he knows everything that's going on around him. He sees everything that's going on around him. I think she said he's in like the 4th grade or something. But she was saying he sees everything going on around him. He understands everything that goes on around him.
Right.
And he's not in the best situation. And I was trying to tell her, I can speak to him as much as you want me to, but as long as you're keeping him in that environment and keeping those situations around him, that's what he's going to be attracted to. And I was trying to tell her he needs different opportunities and different experiences in order to change that whole thinking.
Yeah.
But she was saying basically, because of my situation that I'm in right now, what I'm going through, he's not going to get out of that environment. So how can I change his thinking? And I was like, that's always a slippery slope right there. If you understand what I'm saying.
That's always been one of my not pet peeves, but one of the issues that I find with trying to work with people is always like, can you do something?
Right.
Can you do something about my kid? No, I can help you to come up with some strategies but me being with him or her for X amount of time is going to be nothing compared to what you do if it's not cultivated afterwards. And then it's also what she puts in front of him. You know what I'm saying? It's what?
No, it was the way you said it. I just had never heard afterwards. It was like this real.
I saw him
it was like this real Franklin County.
It was
about what you do afterwards.
It come out every now and then, man. I've been around my granddad. Shout out to my grandpops. Get well, baby. I've been around
the county.
County. But anyway, so also a lot of times I've seen people say that.
I see it, right?
But then it's nothing but YouTube and it's nothing but, those things in front of the kids. So that's what's raising them. So they're watching YouTube so that they can pull up anything.
My question is, what are these factors that are around him? What are the things that she's saying that he needs help with or that he's seeing?
So I guess the term we're going to use, baby father, is in the
in the game.
He's in the game.
All right.
I like that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. He's in the game. But he's also a good father, so he's always around his son.
Okay.
But being that he's always around his son is just paying attention to everything his father's doing.
As he should.
And
He's
I
aware.
don't exactly.
He's a
And I don't see anything wrong with that, but she's becoming concerned because of the things that he's picking up and the stuff that he's bringing back to her house.
Yeah, I don't think it's wrong that he's aware. Now, do I think it's wrong that he's aware of what's going on?
Right.
He's probably around too much.
Right. But is it bad that he's around his father so much? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What?
And
You know what? That's a crazy question because
you want the father to be there.
That's what they preach about, and he's around.
It's like, all right, just let me go here before y'all.
Right, okay,
before y'all
we're
attack me. Before y'all attack me, let
hole.
me go here. So he's around his father, which is good.
Correct.
And he's also around his father who is being an entrepreneur.
I love it.
But
self-sufficient. Yeah, that's it.
And that's why I said don't attack. But he's been around his father who's being an entrepreneur, and maybe he's getting entrepreneurial tips and things from his dad that might be not associated with just directly that game.
Right.
Maybe. But I'm not, again, don't.
My hope would be that the father may be doing whatever he's doing, but he's pushing his son to see the skills and push him in a different direction. I don't think any parent, I wouldn't imagine, would want their kid to go through the same struggles that they went through. So I'm hoping, because there is skill, I guess, there is skill in that process, but I'm hoping either he is or the kid needs somebody in his life, like a Doug, to push them in the right direction to use all of those skills into something, because there is something in it, that to wake up every day and hustle like that, that's...
Yeah, you got to have I
feel like the parent, the mom has that opportunity right there to say, hey, look, I know you see what Pops is doing, but this is what I need you to do. Mm-hmm. Like, take those same skills, take that same drive, take that same tenacity, that same attitude, that same go-getter attitude, that same hustle spirit,
right?
And you go get it too. But let's just do it in a different way.
Yeah.
Let's just do it in a way where you're not jeopardizing your family. Yeah. Let's do it in a way that where I'm not gonna have to come see you through. You know what I'm saying? A cell. I'm not gonna have to see you through a glass wall. Yeah. All right. Like, if dad is doing that, cool. He putting food on the plate. Do what you do. But right now, like, he can't make the choice that choice for himself.
He's too young right
now. He can't make that choice for
He's
himself.
right now.
Yeah. He can't make that choice for himself. So now, if he jump off the porch at 18 and that's what he goes and does, that's on him. I mean, he knows what comes with it, though. But right now, he can't make that choice for himself. So she's got to be that diversion that says, okay, you learn all whatever you watching, whatever you learn, I need you to steer it back this way.
And to be honest, the real fear that I could tell she has is the police. She's worried about down the line when she doesn't want her son to get caught up in that system, because we just all see what's going on with police at the moment with kids. Just there's been a couple of situations that we've talked about just recently that we've actually seen interactions between police with kids, and it's always guns drawn.
It's funny. My mom and I were talking the other day, and she said one thing that black sons should know is that whenever they leave the house or whenever they're out or their mother knows that they're gone, their mom is just innately this part of you that worries because you know of the system that your child is going out into. And I was like, every time. And she was like, anytime I know you traveling, anytime you be like, oh, I'm about to go here, she was like, I worry. She was like, and I pray. She was like, but I also, there's a small part of me that can't get rid of this worry that like, dang, my black son is out here going, maneuvering in all these different places, and I don't know what could happen, but I know that he probably may be more prone to.
And what's so crazy is no matter how well she prepared you, no matter how well she knows she prepared you for all those moments, she still worries. Which is...
That's crazy. Yeah. That's sad to have that feeling when you know you've done... That's like preparing for a test and knowing all that preparation, it still don't matter. Because all of these variables. All of these variables. Oh, yeah. Bruh, I hated test taking. You know that they say
I would ask the teacher every time, you did not say this on the study.
Let me go over this. What is this? What is
this? You did not put this on the study guide. I know you did.
This is a new topic.
I'm one of those teachers, so I feel
no, but I completely understand.
What age? Do you remember like that age or that how old you were when you made that decision? What direction you were gonna go in? Because no matter how much you were, I'm talking about because you straddle that line. No matter where you at, no matter where you grow up at, no matter what happens in your life, you straddle the line to make a decision to go, to the left or to the right.
For sure.
And do you remember a moment where you were kind of teeter-tottering or thinking about?
I do.
You remember?
I used to be in a program called STEP, Student Transition Educational Program at PH. Yeah. And they helped all of us do our FAFSA. They helped all of us apply for schools. And I was the last one to get an acceptance letter. But just going in that room every single Wednesday and watching people be like, yeah, I got approved to Virginia State. Yeah, I'm going to Glenville. Yeah, I'm going. And I'm just looking crazy like, nah, I haven't got anything yet, Yeah. And I didn't get accepted till like maybe February. So it was rough. Like, it was to the point where I was like, dang, I'm going to still be in Roanoke.
Right. And then you had to say,
State. And then got accepted to Norfolk State by the graces of God. Shout out to my HBCU. I
was throwing shots.
Saved my life.
My moment was kind of the same. Like all through high school, I played until it got to like May. And me and Isaiah.
Yeah, he was pushing it.
We waited. I mean, our grades were trash. So coaches would come in like, ain't nothing I could do for you. Grades are trash, whatever. It got to like May 15th. And I still didn't know where I was going to go. I really thought I was going to go to the military. Guidance counselor told me I need to go to Virginia Western. Like, I just
being all that you
did, being defiant as hell. Like you wouldn't listen to nothing, and you would have been kicked out so fast.
Yeah.
I ain't doing no more push-ups. What? Duck it? Duck it?
I thought you said 6:30. Duck it is 7.
My bad, bro.
Let's start over.
But no, I got a call from Coach Wickham at ODU, and he told me, turn your phone off.
Doug, I got too many alarms. It'd be early.
Doug got an alarm.
Doug, you're up. Doug, you are awake. You are awake.
Doug be on the side of his bed.
One more.
Y'all don't do that? Just sit on the side of the bed for a second?
No.
I pop up.
You pop up?
Pop up.
I'm up.
It's always a decision. Lay back down, right?
I'm on shit in the morning.
So you trying to get that extra 30 seconds?
Always.
And you know that's worse for you.
I know.
Snoozing
it makes you so tired throughout the day.
That extra 5 minutes will hurt.
So you got the call from Coach.
I got the call from Coach Wickham, and he told me they were offering me a walk-on position. And ODU, if anybody knows, is like the common man school, so you can get in.
Man, I wish they would have had a football team when I was coming in.
You can get in with a 3.5. It's like the middle ground school. So I got in, and from that point, I was like, yeah, I'm not playing with this school stuff no more. Like this is an uncomfortable feeling.
Right.
Of having all the talent in the world, from getting calls from Maryland to, big schools, and they all just telling you like, there's nothing I could do with you. Like,
wow.
Like, see, you got all the talent in the world, but your grades are trash. Like. That's not a good feeling.
Yeah. And what's crazy, y'all's came, because I had that moment when I was going to college, but for some reason, even though no one in my family had ever been to college, I always knew I was going to college. It was so, I always had this dream of going to college. So my time came when I was 14. I'll never forget. I was angry forever. Mom, prison, grandparents was mean as I don't know what at the time. And I just remember, seeing examples of how it was easier, seeing the fast life, so to speak. So I remember I was 14 years old and I could make a decision, start smoking weed, start doing all these things. And my football coach, who was the first black coach I had seen in my town, he transferred and he came there. And I remember introducing myself and I had just started playing quarterback and he literally took me under his wing and was like, I'm going to change the way you walk, the way you talk, everything you do. And from that moment, that's when I saw what's possible. Still, up until I went to college, I didn't know nothing about fast food. I didn't know nothing about anything when I went to. I remember showing up to my first day, checking football, and the coach was like, "Brooks, you got a $23,000 balance." Yeah. And I was like, "What you talking about?" Because I was a preferred walk-on because it was kind of like yours. It was up until May. I had so many offers and all this stuff, but they all fell through because I tore my hamstring. Right. So up until May, Hampton was finally on me. I pulled up. And they was like, you got this balance. And then God sent an angel. And she was able to do what she had to do and got me got that year paid for.
What was the angel's name?
Huh?
Oh, we'll leave her unsaid. That might not have been legal.
Mrs. Perry Ford. She is. She was literally my. I didn't know if I should say it or not, but she literally made. I had not filled out financial aid, like
he's
nothing.
Wow. The card through his comb, and he's like, "What was the angel's name?"
But no. So mine came at 14 when I knew I could have made that decision of either way to go, and then college because college wasn't nothing nobody in my family really talked about. Yeah. It was just something I did. And I remember going to college, and my whole family thought I was going to the NFL. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They just saw that.
They thought I was in the NFL.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Because you were the first.
Yeah. So they thought I was.
You out there doing good.
Yeah. I remember my grandma was like, "Baby, make sure you manage your money well and do all that." Mama, I ain't making no money.
You like, I need you to send me something next week.
That's it. Then 4 years later, I graduated, thankfully. Crazy. But yeah, no.
So what is this point that we're talking about? Because I've been trying to figure out my point. What is this point where we decided
did you decide to stop selling crack?
Bruh, well, it was tough.
To not become a stripper.
Yeah, I still haven't decided upon that for real.
Yes,
there's a lot of money to be made by taking. All right,
Machiavelli.
So you just call my stage. Hey, hold on. No, but so tell me this: when we decided that we were gonna not take the route of doing stuff that we knew we shouldn't have done.
Right. Did you have that life moment where it was like, nah, I ain't with that?
Or staying in Roanoke doing X, Y, and Z.
I think it's crazy. I think mine was when I was 12. I was 12, and my cousin that I looked up to my whole life, he committed suicide at 15. Wow. And when he did it, that shit just broke my world because it was like, that was, he is what, I don't think y'all know him, but my cousin Dominique, he's like what I've tried to be to my younger cousin because I remember what he gave me. By the time I was 12, it was like I idolized him. It was like anything.
15.
He was 15, and so it was like that whole thing of not having a dad, having those pressures, and it's like you don't really know the weight that people carrying, just on a day-to-day basis. You never know what somebody's carrying, and so I remember when I got that news, and my mom finally told me before I was born, she raised him. So it was we were getting raised together. He was my cousin, but we were getting raised in the same house. Every weekend he was at my house. So when he would leave on Sunday mornings, I would cry, I would boo-hoo. Mm-hmm. And so when he died at 15, I saw how much it hurt my mom to lose him, and I was like, she never gonna lose me. Wow. She not gonna lose me to some senseless and not saying that his was, because now that I look at it, I'm like, damn. At 15, you don't know the pressure that somebody's trying to cope with, and they don't know where to turn. So they like, oh, this is the only way that I know out at this time in my life. And so I told myself then, I was like, man, my mom is never going to have this feeling of loss. I'm going to do something, and she's going to have me around. Wow. And so I think it was at 12.
That brings up a crazy point, though, is I was just thinking about, drug dealing or staying in but also that those other depressive, suicidal thoughts that a lot of teenagers have. So you're at this crossroad with all these different ways you can, and if it wasn't for that situation for you, that coach calling you, or, you finally getting that acceptance letter, no telling what direction. Man, that's
we as people. I think sometimes are way too quick to throw in our 2 cents on stuff and not realizing like if you was in that same position, could you handle it or would you crack? Like would you handle it or could you crack? We'll look at people and we'll be like, yo, like I wonder why they doing this or they don't. And it's like, bro, if you was up under the same circumstances in that house, your house might cave in.
Well, see, and that's my whole thing with like even being mentors at the school is letting those teachers know like you need to meet that kid where he is because you have no clue what his night was like. And I know talking to some of the kids that we were dealing with in the school, the stuff that they would see at night and come to school, and you asking that kid to stay up on a test, he not thinking about that test.
Nah.
Like you got to really like get down to his level and figure out, okay, what's going on in your world, and how can I be a part of your world so that I can lead you on this journey. Not this is my world, you're gonna take my world no matter what. Like.
And speaking of that, there was a poem that kind of went viral by a kid who wrote, I think he was in 3rd grade, and he put his name, Joshua Dickerson. He said, I woke myself up because we ain't got an alarm clock. Dug in the dirty clothes basket because ain't nobody washed my uniform. Brushed my hair and teeth in the dark because the lights ain't on. Even got my baby sister ready because my mama wasn't home. Got us both to school on time to eat us a good breakfast. Then when I got to class, teacher fuss because I ain't got no pencil.
Bro. And you know what's crazy? That's every day.
Every single day.
That's every day,
I
bro.
feel bad because I have constantly, where's your pencil? There's
pencils.
There's pencils in the hallway. You couldn't just pick one up on the way to class.
Instead of just being like, hey, you good?
Like most of these kids and most of us went through more stuff in a day, at a young age than most people go through in a lifetime. And what's crazy is we would have had every excuse with everything that happened, like with your cousin passing away. You would have had every excuse to say forget it and do, it would have been justified. And his cousin killed it, so leave him alone. He's fine. And you would have had every excuse to lead your way right into jail or into. And that's the crazy thing about being young men, young African American men, is that we got every excuse, but there's those small moments that kind of shift our.
And I think as black men, like I really feel strongly about this. Like we as adults, black men and women especially, like no matter what it is, you kind of, when I look at it, I think to myself, I owe it to the youth, like to the boys and girls to at least be like, hey, how you doing? Like, or just like a word just to show them like that we're here, we care because we realize what it was like to be young and stuff and know. And I know that I wouldn't have made it out of that. As sad, I was depressed when my cousin died. Like when my cousin died, I was depressed. Like it was not, I wasn't me. And normal me is like, y'all know normal me. I wasn't me. And so I got through that because of a village of people around me who was like, yo, it's okay. Like this is how it happens. So now it's on us to be that village. It's on us to be that village, to be that thing that we gonna bridge this gap for y'all to get across and show y'all, all this pain, all this trauma and different things y'all gonna be. We are literally gonna lay ourselves out and be that bridge because we're strong enough to do it.
Yeah.
But because especially with everything happening in Roanoke, everyone who has gotten shot or passed away, they have a family. They have little kids. And we have to remember that those kids are either going to take that situation and grow from it, or they're going to, become, use that and it's going to have a negative impact on them. And so someone has to reach out, and we got to be that force to speak or talk to somebody, because those situations, if you didn't have that village.
Yeah. The community is aware, though. They just had like a prayer vigil, and they had an amazing turnout here in Roanoke, which is showing that people are aware, people are ready for change.
What is
the issue?
Go back to that.
So because of the recent incidents that have been happening within Roanoke, they had at Melrose Park where they just wanted the city to come out and have prayer and just talk about a solution. The turnout was amazing, but one thing I did notice, the individuals that need to be there are the individuals that weren't there. And I mean, as in like the youth, the ones that are actually the people that we're worried about, the ones that we're trying to change.
Right.
They weren't there, but it was their parents, their uncles, the cousins.
How do you get them?
That's the question.
See, and I think that the kids probably weren't there because prayer to them is like, Okay, so what I believe is, cool, we have a prayer visual, right?
Okay.
This many people die in a week, and we have a prayer visual. 400 people show up. Okay. Where's the action? Mm-hmm. We can pray all day.
Okay.
We could pray all day and think things are going to change until action is put in place. Like, it does not work without action. So a lot of people that should be there probably think that's not going to change nothing. Mm. Well, now, I think it does. It puts things into place. It changes, paradigms. It changes things. But there has to be action. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so you can have all the leaders in the world on that platform praying, preachers. I believe in it. I get it. And I'm not against it. But there's got to be action. So the prayer visual happened. What happens next?
I'm not the leader.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I know. I'm not saying you're the leader. What I'm saying is that's what I look for. Like, all right, cool. I'm gonna watch y'all. We go to the prayer visual. What's next? What happens next? Are we knocking on doors? Are we doing a community meeting? Are we putting programs into place? Are we putting more people in the schools? Are we switching some money around? What's up? Yeah. All of this shooting stuff, it comes from economics. Mm-hmm. It starts at economics. You want to get to the root of it. You want to get to the root of why everything happens in that quadrant of Northwest. It's economics. Come take a ride down there and walk for a little while. You'll understand it.
You be ready to shoot some shit up.
Exactly. You'll be ready. You'll see how frustrated you'll get.
Yeah. So the key is actually to speak to city council and the higher ups.
It's not to speak. Yeah. It's for people to get in place that will make change.
That's hard.
It's not so much as just speaking to them. We can go to city council and speak all day. It's for people to get in place when they have school board and stuff, putting young people in there that are ready to put in action, ready to get in the trenches. That's what it takes.
And I think recognizing, because and you wasn't discrediting it at all. You're just saying whether action, but you have to have both. I feel like you have to have some type of prayer. I feel like
works is dead.
I feel like I don't want to take away the power of prayer because we it is possible to change a lot with simple prayer. I see my grandmother do it every day. I see my grandmother be able to have a direct connection with what she believed in and be able to do what she has to do. But with that prayer, she had to wake up the next morning and do what she had to do.
You still got to get up and
so I don't want to discredit the fact that they prayed, but at the same time, like you said, that's 400 people strong there. Those 400 strong people could be 400 mentors. Imagine the city changing those people. Exactly. Oh, well, I'm gonna go pick up a kid today.
Right.
That's where. And now you not only pray separately. Now you can either pray for that kid or pray with, and then you take that and go from there. So. Yeah, man.
Let's just say we do a prayer visual. Hey, everybody that comes to the prayer visual, 400 people, bring $20. Now we can take that money and we can go put a down payment on this building, buy this building, and turn it into a youth center.
Right.
That's the type of stuff I'm thinking about.
Buy the same block that these kids shooting up, shooting each other.
I'm watching kids. Exactly. I'm saying on a regular Saturday or what is it, Thursday?
Yeah.
Getting gunned down in the middle of the street,
in the middle of the day,
of a funeral home, in the middle of the day. It's at 12 o'clock.
That's symbolic. Like, running the funeral home.
That's the type of stuff where it's like, I'm going to pray all day. I pray every day. Believe me. But one thing I will do is I'll step on my front porch and I'll put some action in.
That's it.
And I'm not scared to do that.
That's it.
And I think y'all both touched on a really good point with, talking about the 400 people, mentors and everybody, because I think that one thing that we have to get out of is like, we had Martin, we had Malcolm. There's never going to be one savior for us. Like, we have to collectively do it. If we don't collectively do it, it's not going to happen. Like, there's not going to be one day, not saying you, but there's not going to say, oh, X is going to come out and he's going to lead us out. Like, no, it has to be all of us together who are saying, we're going to.
You're right. Because the weight is easy.
Change.
I try to pick up this table by myself. But if all four of us go and try to pick up this table.
You have been lifting, so I don't know. You might be able to.
No. But that's what I'm saying. So if all of us are trying to reach 400, if one person's trying to reach 400 kids, it's going. We're going to put forth a valiant effort, but it's going to fall short. Whereas the 400 of us find one kid, man, imagine.
So that's divide and conquer's biggest enemy.
I was just going to say
is unity.
So this is a question, just a question. Mm-hmm. Would we be wrong to look at how Trump is gathering a lot of alternative right individuals and joining them together? Should we be using that as like a paradigm of how to bring people together? because he has formed a sort of unity that I haven't seen before, just on the forefront out in the public.
If Trump doesn't make us unify,
right?
I don't know what will.
That's what I be.
I'm being real.
Yeah, because they are.
If things like that Instagram don't make us closer and stop making us go down the street and grit at each other, and you know what I'm saying, constantly mad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I don't know how many times I walk down the street. And I'm a smiling individual. Like, I love to laugh.
Smiling.
Yeah. Like,
smiling at
look
at this motherfucker.
Like, and I can see it
so happy
as I'm on my office block. Like, I'm constantly smiling at people. And they know me. Like, laughing at me, all this stuff, whatever. But if he doesn't make us unify, then
that was a good point.
It's going to take us offing each other to do it.
Right.
That's all. Why is it that we only unify when we have 6 murders in 8 days?
My dad always says like the one thing that has always burned my dad up is when he'll see a black person killing another black person. Like not the only thing, but it makes him so mad because he like, yep, go ahead, play into it. Just play into it. Yeah. Just go ahead. Just go ahead and play right into whatever is wanted you to do. Go ahead and play right into that. And I'm like, yeah. Like, but like he's saying with Trump, it's like, if these types of things don't make you look at it like, yo, you my brother as opposed to my enemy, then you just missed it.
That's scary because to an extent that's saying we are kind of a lost cause then because we're not unifying like we should be.
We're not a lost cause.
No, so I wouldn't go that far because
I get what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but I don't think we're a lost cause.
One of the main reasons I don't look at the news is because I like to focus on positivity. So I love to see. I can go on and on about all the positive stuff that's happening in the neighborhood just as much as I can negative. Right. But I would rather speak about the positive. Right. And then the negative gets suppressed. Then I don't even think about it anymore. Right. Yeah, I would much rather think about positive. There's a lot of positive stuff that we're doing. Black people, are everywhere, like literally everywhere, from pilots to...
We're the 11th wealthiest country in the world.
Come on now.
We have it was $1 trillion and now we're estimated to go to $1.2 trillion in purchasing power.
Are you talking about the African American community?
Yeah, the African American community.
It's interesting you spoke on that. I was reading an article talking about, have you noticed in black media, we're just seeing our representation a lot more?
Yeah, it's a purpose because we have that amount of purchasing
I've heard
power.
it's literally because of the purchasing
power. I saw when Burger King started doing rap commercials.
That was funny. I'm not gonna lie, that was a good one.
King, man, when I saw that, I was like,
we've always been pitched like certain certain stuff is always pitched, but like now is the movies like it's just like these. I guess these figures that we got a little black mermaid and it's like we not used to having, so it's like, dang, but it's like, it's still going in there. It's not going back just because Little Mermaid is black doesn't mean that it's going to the black community.
But you saw the people mad about that?
Yeah.
People were furious about
the Black Mermaid.
Halle, what's her name? Halle Berry?
No.
There's another
close
Halle.
To that. Her name is Haley.
Fine.
It's Haley or something, but she's
if you got the name Halle or... I also think Monica.
There's been some bad Vivica's.
Have you ever seen an ugly Monica?
I only know one Monica.
Or an unattractive.
Who's your celebrity? Crush?
Celebrity crush?
Here we go.
I don't really have... I mean... I like Lupita a lot. Lupita
for real? That was a good one.
Oh my god,
that was a good one. I like that.
Chocolate drop. I ain't going.
Yeah,
my wife is my crush, my celebrity crush. She's,
always,
that's it. But I just feel like with the direction that Trump has pushed us to, we have to, like you were saying, we got to push together because did y'all saw the?
He called us rodents. Well, he said Philadelphia is a rodent infestation.
What was the exact quote?
I really don't listen to that dude. If I'm being honest,
I don't know the exact quote.
Was it Philly or Chicago? Mm-hmm. But I know the argument in general is that he only speaks to infested places as black places. Like he only talks about crime infested, rodent infested, drug infested.
The word infested is just so
exactly. But if you hear a lot of his quotes, it's talking about those places being infested when there's ever
That's a design thing though.
Yeah, I just hate that double standard. I wish Obama would have said the word infested, talking about anywhere.
If
Lord.
Obama had
Nah, I
done
gotta go back and look at this. Because if he did, then y'all gonna be like,
but
Hey, now, if he
just
did say
overall,
that,
if
though, that would've
Obama
been-
had done any, even if
mannerisms
Obama,
just-
like there's been a whole entire investigation about him,
Being from
cheating
the
and
United States?
yeah,
Yeah.
all of this stuff.
Obama?
No, I'm talking about Trump. There's been this whole investigation about how.
Doug had started something.
Oh, yeah, like, I
The
was
first
like,
thing that went
no.
in my mind is done.
But and I just think about Obama. If Obama would have sneezed wrong and there would have been an investigation and he would have been out. Like there's been a whole 4-year long investigation about whether he won or if he was,
I remember when
going
they
along
got-
with Russia and all that stuff.
I remember when they got mad at Obama for wearing that brown suit. Yeah, I remember he had that beige suit with the blue tie, and they got mad at him saying it wasn't presidential, but it was so clean. Oh my God, it was so clean.
Hey, listen, I'm
it
gonna
was
tell
like
you one thing.
it was like, come on.
Have you ever seen him in shades and a bomber jacket?
At the game,
Bruh.
Yeah.
that bomber
that's
jacket,
a cool dude.
that bomber jacket.
They got the 44 on it.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
bomber jacket
so-
sold so
You
much.
see
I'm not gonna lie, I
President
wanted
Obama
one.
brown suit.
That was just clean.
Did
Just a little.
Did Obama
44.
come to Norfolk State?
He did. I was actually there. That was I got a picture of
It
that.
was after Hampton though.
What was the question?
Where did that come from?
I just
We were talking about
because he was cool.
Yeah,
President
just
Obama's
a
brown
side
suit.
note. You know the real reason why me and Hampton just I don't know.
You love us? Is that-
We'll
They
say,
charge $40,000 a year.
on top
Is
of
it
that,
40 now?
No, I don't think.
on top of
I don't
that,
think
they
so.
came to
39.12.
I'm telling you, that's the same. They came to PH one time, and they had us come in, show our resumes.
39.12.
Yeah, that's a lot. They had us show our resumes and all that. And do you know, the woman told me at the table as soon as she looked at my resume, she said, "You're not Hampton material."
Oh, I definitely wasn't Hampton material.
That broke my
shoot.
spirit. I remember that before I got accepted to Norfolk State. I was
Say
like,
you not had the material?
she had people come in. I think Gerard and a
That's
couple
tuition,
people
not plus
went in there,
reward.
and you'll sit down at the table. It was a long table, conference
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
And then the first thing she'll say is, "Let me see your
How much
resume."
is a year?
You slide it to her, and she said, "Oh, you're not Hampton material." I was like, "Oh my God, what my transcript? I mean."
I mean,
And I
Do
was
you
like,
think you were?
Dang, dude.
I'm just playing. I'm messing with you. No.
What makes
I'm just saying, I don't know.
That's
I don't
a
know.
tough thing to
Just
say
the way
to
that she said
somebody,
it.
though. What
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
And then
you
for
like
it to be
Hampton
another,
material.
and then for it to be another African American woman,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you walk in smiling all happy, and then you slide your transcript.
Well, I know when I
that was
got
the whole
there, there
conversation.
was a whole persona
There still is.
of
Thank you.
how it was, and I know I didn't fit
But I like
into
Hampton.
it,
Yeah.
and I know I didn't fit into it. At the
Nothing
time.
against Hampton, you know.
If it
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
football, I probably wouldn't have been there myself. But big up to my school. They real hate you.
Yeah, we'll get along with that. So I have a just
bro.
quick question for y'all.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we were talking about just thanks to, we can say God or just a spiritual entity for putting us in our good positions.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that higher power is a man, a woman, or just a spirit? When we're talking about God, Allah, just that higher power.
Shout out to Jordan Bell for this question.
Ooh,
one of
Jordan Bell.
our thinkers. He sent us this through Instagram. If you have anything that you want to hit us up about,
Jordan
Yes,
would
sir.
drop that question.
And me,
That was a good one.
Instagram.
so
Thinking
what?
out loud, no I, just thinking
Right.
out loud _
God, woman, man, spirit. What we going with?
All of the above.
Uh-huh.
Whatever you want it to be.
I'm going to say spirit.
I'm gonna say woman.
Ooh. Oh, because of the Black Madonna.
No. Because
Nah.
women are the only things that can create.
Yeah, I was about to say women create life. Women create. You give something to a woman, she grows it. That's why I say woman.
So you think the man is what turned God into a man?
What?
Like,
Hey, look, because I just said she was a woman. I was like,
Is that in the Bible?
I think all
no,
of the
so do you
above.
think it was like, so men,
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
men being empowered. You feel me?
What were the options again?
A man, a woman, or a spirit?
Yeah, I think all of the above.
woman, all of the above, whatever you want it to be.
Because if we're created in His image, that means we're man. And then we have spirit. We have a soul. We have spirit. And if
You've been going to church on Sunday, ain't you, boy?
yeah, I don't need. It's not even
No,
about
I'm
church.
messing.
It's just
Yeah, no.
like,
You're right. No.
And are you saying that
to create, you have to be a woman. So
Okay.
I think God is.
Let me
like,
change mine.
all things.
What do you change yours to?
I think now that I think about it, Daniels make a lot of sense. Because there are people who will say, "I'm
hard.
God." People will say themselves like,
Yes.
"I'm God." So let me take that back.
Kanye said it, and the world flipped over.
Yeah.
But now people are woke. They're like, oh, I am a god.
Yeah, let me take that back. Whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
I'm still going with the spirit.
Okay.
Because we talk about quote unquote the flesh. Mm-hmm. And then after the flesh is the spirit that passes on to the next part. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking naturally that higher power would be a spirit as well.
Now I'm thinking, man.
It's a deep question.
All of the above.
So why do you say whatever you, just because that is like, what, you know what?
So we basically got the same answer.
Yeah.
Still
technically, but I think it could be.
Do you believe he could be a microphone?
I feel as if in what.
You believe he could be an iPhone?
I feel as if you're locked into a cave and all you got is just water bottle, and that's the thing that's keeping you alive, and that could be your God.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel as if it can be.
Dang, you be making sense.
Yeah,
you be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you be saying it, I'd be like, dang.
And I just think, I just think God can be whatever you feel as if that being or that thing that you believe in is.
I'm still going with a spirit. Because you can have that thing that's keeping you sane, but you're still talking to a spiritual entity or something. Do you
talk to yourself?
Okay, so I'm glad you said that. My homie Tariq Muhammad, one of his favorite quotes: "Whenever you're being 100% honest with yourself, like honestly talking to yourself and being 100% honest with yourself, you're talking to God, because you're not going to tell yourself anything. And
you
wrong.
Believe that, right?
I really do.
Okay, so then you just proved yourself wrong.
Nope, because when I'm talking to myself, I'm talking to my conscience, which I believe is actually your spirit.
Which, have you ever heard of God consciousness?
The song, but not actually the definition of it.
I have to do a little bit more research.
That's what I'm saying.
I just stepped out on a diving board. I was like, I'm not ready to jump in the pool yet.
not yet. A little bit cold.
If you're talking to yourself.
Okay, you're talking to yourself. God, but who is that little box in your head? What is that little mind? Or
that's you.
God. That's you talking to yourself.
Have y'all watched Black Mirror?
No.
Oh God, I'm not going to get down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
It goes. There's an episode where it goes into that where this they're doing something where you can do something like there's this medical thing that can help you with like if you it's something right to where you can block out. They can put a mechanism in a child's mind to where they cannot see like a barking dog or like bad messages.
Oh, and the one girl goes through her whole life and she doesn't see anything. And
right.
Yeah.
But then within the episode, there's something where this guy gets it's an insert implanted to where you see this woman that has died inside his head and she's talking to him. And so they're like that voice that's talking to you inside. That's what everybody's trying to figure out. What is that voice? And so it goes into that. It's deep. It's weird.
So
Netflix.
So a lot of mine also, if we want to talk, because then my thing is whatever you want to be and it's whether you narrow it down to Christianity or if you're talking about just broad of how everyone sees it. That's where my thought of God is whoever you want it to be. Because if you tell you all your life that God is whatever I tell you, from when you're young to when you're old, you're going to believe that that's who God is. So, but if you narrow it back down, that I go back to kind of what X said is he's all of them because in the Bible, he was Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. So he was spirit, he was man, and then he was, so he was all the Trinity,
the
all in
Holy
one.
Trinity.
So that's why I'm saying he is, so God can be through an angel that he sends to you. So if you need something and God sends that person to you, that's in that moment, that's God in his manly form. So I feel like in any given moment, that's why I feel like he could be anybody. Anything. I feel like that.
Anything.
And I feel like when we try to put God into a box, that's when we try to make sense of it.
Exactly.
Afterwards.
It's not supposed to make sense. That's what faith is for.
But that takes me back to one time I had two roommates. One was Muslim, one was atheist. I was Baptist, Christianity, etc. Both of them had read the Bible way more than me. They knew it was incredible. And from those conversations that I used to have with them, I did come to the conclusion that it's spiritual because it's seen so many different ways through so many people's eyes. But I still can narrow it down to just a man or a female. That's just where I'm at.
But I think if you really want to just get completely basic with it, is what you see when you pray.
I was about to.
You know what I'm saying? Like you want to go completely. When you start to pray and you feel like you're talking to whatever that is, Are you praying to?
But that goes all the way back to what we've been conditioned. That goes all the way back to what we've been conditioned to.
What do you see when you pray?
My grandfather.
Ooh.
And I mean that sometimes I see black. Sometimes I
think I see black
visions. Like when I was a little kid, I used to see that. I'm just being real. I used to see what was on that fan.
Yep.
At church.
That silky hair.
Or like, pearly gates.
And you know that's within having faith is seeking God's face is what it is. So the moment when you feel as if you've seen him or heard from him, that's what you see. So a lot of times you might see black if you want to look at just the pure basis, but it's what you're focusing on. It's that moment of that meditation, that moment of seeking out is what you kind of transcend.
This is an awkward segue, but
take it, Doug. Maestro, that thing.
You just made me think of something. I was talking to this evangelic woman at my job.
She was just segue.
No, it was just random, but it made me think of it. So I was talking to this evangelic woman. You see how he tried to make that bad, right? I was talking to this evangelic woman.
No, I'm just laughing because he was like, it wasn't a bad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
You still spiritual.
Well, we were just talking, and we got on the subject of global warming.
Go ahead. No,
we got on the topic of global warming, and then we were just asking, does it exist or does it doesn't exist? And what happened?
Global warming, does it exist?
Yeah, I was just asking her how do they feel about global warming. That was the topic we were talking about. And she said, point blank, it doesn't matter because when I die, we're going up to heaven. This is the place for hell. So I don't care about keeping this place safe or keeping it clean or keeping it whatever because this is for basically the sinners. This isn't even for us.
Yeah,
and I was like, wow. It was heavy because I was like, so you're not even trying to protect the earth? And she said, this isn't for us.
Wow.
But how do you feel about that? Because that's a big debate going on right now. Save it for the kids in the future, or just.
And again, that's how what you believe. Because technically, biblically, she's correct. That this we're going to transcend the ones who are alive in Christ will arise, and then the rest will be stay here. So
but that means don't take care of the earth now.
I ain't never thought about it like
I didn't either until she said it.
I'm gonna take care of.
She took this world is not my home. Literally, this world is not my home. Okay,
it's like I don't care.
You
I
see
don't care about litter
in church. She's like, no, I'm serious, dead ass. I will throw this bottle right on this road. I don't care about litter. This ain't my house. This ain't my.
But at the same time, I don't believe that
though.
Because I don't think of it that way because I feel as if you're giving something, your responsibility. If you go back to Adam, God told Adam, this is yours. Take care of it, nourish it. You're master over all of this. So I feel as if we still have a responsibility to take care of what we were given. Just like any parent, if I give you something and you get it dirty the first day, then you don't deserve it. Right. So. Yeah, that's just my thought. So, now this is a terrible segue.
What if it rains and I'm walking back from the store?
You shouldn't have been outside walking with them shoes on. You had some different clothes on. You got some different clothes.
Bro, what if I'm wetting? I'm walking outside.
Wait, he said it's like if your mama give you something, you shouldn't have got it dirty.
That's his
experience. What your segue, DB?
It was we had another faithful listener sent us a question on Instagram. Why do I forget how it was phrased, but basically why do these dudes get so upset when females reject them? So when you walking by a female and she don't give you no play,
what's up, ma? I'm not interested. Damn. Well, I was waiting. Well, if you tuned in, like. Oh, bro, you don't have to be like that. You do not have to be like that. She just ain't trying to pick. She just ain't picking up what you putting down.
Rejection is tough because
it is. I was gonna say making that from people who have never been rejected.
Making that that is another one. Yeah,
you don't know how to take a no.
But then
that's scary.
By you saying that means that someone has responded to. I think it's the way that you approach a woman also, and that terrible. Hey, light skin. Hey, green pants.
Who says that? Who does that?
People do that. A lot of people do that. A lot of people do that.
Slim.
A lot of people. So I think
that ain't it.
I think it's in your approach.
Ain't gonna work, bro.
But if you're saying that, then that means the issue is that someone has responded to that nonsense.
What? To what?
To somebody approaching a woman in that way, not coming correct in all those crazy ways. Hey, yo, bitch. someone has responded.
Wow, Daniel.
Take it there.
DMX?
I'm saying, but what I'm saying is,
You know that's his favorite rapper.
Yeah,
He had the
that's
goggles on with the back,
I'm
bro.
telling you.
Don't make me find that.
stop. That's
But
not
no,
gonna
I
be
get
a-
what you're saying though. Like basically,
Somebody
you're
had to
saying
allow it.
somebody they've had to hurt somebody that has success with that
That's
in
it.
order for them to do it.
Yeah, but
Right.
So I think it boils down to how you approach, and mind you, a lot of females may not even want to be talked to, even if you approach them correctly. But at the same time, it's how you approach them that I think
Man,
and then
get used to getting a no. Like, get used to taking a no.
I've
Whether it's
heard.
jobs, girls, whatever.
I
Like,
agree.
get used to it.
You gotta.
Yeah.
Know how
Also,
to
get
set your
comfortable
number.
with saying no.
Right.
Like I think that a lot of people don't see that flip side. Is you got to be comfortable with hearing no and being able to accept that. But you also
Saying
need to
no.
learn how to say no.
That's very
Like
true.
you can't do everything. I've been talking to my mom about that for 27 years, and it's like she's still. I'm just like, Mom, you can't be everywhere. You
everywhere,
can't do
yes.
everything for everybody because you lose out on
Yup.
self. And what else do you have to give if you don't have self anymore?
I always give the example of the cup, and I did that with my kids at school. Like, your cup is right here, and if you constantly pour out love, affection, whatever, you're constantly pouring. Who's filling you up? And then so if your cup is half empty, how can you maneuver? Like, you're empty. What you like?
I just had an immature moment. Go ahead.
Who's
Go ahead.
Who was it?
You,
Who's filling
you
you
was
up?
like, yeah.
I got that when he did it.
I said, what?
I just saw his
This
face when
guy.
he said it. Yeah, that's
This
just
guy.
saying. But it's good.
So have you
Good point.
have you ever been the guy that has
Beach week, all type of events.
Yeah.
I can
Man,
see you.
I've
He
been
went straight to beach week.
Hold on, Beach Week and doing what?
Getting no.
just
being upset.
getting no's
Yeah.
and just going to the very next one. It
You
was
got
just-
no on Beach Week? On Beach Week, you supposed to get infinite yeses.
Well,
But you get so many no's that you
I mean,
win
room
regardless.
222.
Yeah, you get so
Beach
many
week
no's
was
that
well.
you win regardless.
Mm-hmm. It's
so,
just
so yeah, you got to be okay with, because I was never. I think a lot of it also goes down to, especially if you holler at a girl with your boys. So a lot of that response is to cover up embarrassment.
Sure.
So a lot of dudes will start to cuss and get all tough. When honestly, you playing yourself even more
Self confidence.
by doing that. If
I
she-
like to approach girls in groups. I don't like to catch them alone. I like to do it in groups.
I never did that before I met my
Because
wife.
in groups, you can...
Play
Hold
off
on,
of-
hold on. Just thinking out loud. I ain't gonna think out loud.
can't
I
drop
ain't gonna
game.
think that out
Can't drop
loud.
game.
Yeah.
Game is to be
Yeah,
sold.
drop
It's like-
it.
So,
Someone's around, get
Yeah.
5,000
be
views.
sold, not to be told.
So
Oh, that's what it takes.
Oh, online dating consulting?
So-
Nah, go ahead.
so season 2, we popped it
Yeah,
off.
we back.
Well, season
Welcome y'all. We here. This is the
Doug,
this
please
is start.
say season 2 like you said it.
Season
today.
2.
Season two.
What y'all got for the people? And starting off this next season and this week.
Also, introduce yourself. Now y'all
Oh,
can
yeah.
finally see us.
Right. All right, we here. So where we want to go? Around here or kick it off?
Round the
All right.
table.
Good morning. My name is Mackenzie, 1/4 of the TOL crew, and yeah, that's me. We're just doing an introduction. What else are we doing? What do we want to do?
And let them know about your Monday Mac Minutes that you'll be.
Oh yeah. Monday Mac Minute. Check that on Instagram. I'm gonna just come and bring y'all whatever hits my mind after my meditation on Monday.
There we go.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all? It's X. 2/4 of
There you go.
Okay.
2/4 of it. No, because I'm not gonna say 3/4. That's
1/4.
That's it.
25%.
About a quarter.
A quarter.
Mm-hmm.
What are we talking about?
Just your hustler. Probably like yeah. Just tell them about yourself.
Yes.
That is my name.
The hustler.
That's it.
We'll expound upon that later.
That's
Yeah,
it.
well,
I like that word.
That's it. What's up, y'all? I'm Daniel. I'm third member of Thinking Out Loud. Follow us on Thinking Out Loud _ and every Tuesday I'll be bringing you Toolbox Tuesdays, just something to add to your mental toolbox. Keep thinking out loud.
Okay. And last but not least, Doug,
Two.
Instagram, Naguido Minded, it's Spanish. Last member of Thinking Out Loud. I'll be presenting Fresh Fridays, hitting y'all with something fresh, historical based, culture based, fashion based, just something fresh every Friday. You feel me? We definitely want to thank y'all for tuning in to season 2. This season is going to be amazing, and we got some big things coming soon as well.
That's it.
Dang,
be on the lookout for the YouTube channel. Make sure you tune in, subscribe. It's on the way. Season 2.
Yeah. Season 2. Peace. Love y'all.
Keep a couple pistols in my furniture.